is record this footage from now.
Yeah.
And then we're going
Oh, right, and just upload it
re-upload
later.
it. Yeah, we re-upload it, and then that way I'll lead it. But for now, the stream can kind of work, and we can just re-upload when I send it over to whoever.
Okay. Also, with Dutch Face, he's keeping in touch with the top 6, top 5 on mediums.
He is, yeah, and Dutchface is a big fan of doing these reverse strategies, as Jasper is. We kind of missed this. Ivor's got past Jasper under DRS for all of this stress. Apologies, guys, as we have another mover. Riley is through Svenos, Emperor. Oh, I think that might be a slight timing.
I think they've all just gone wide there or something.
Yeah, very strange. And the battle for the lead is. I mean, what's really interesting here is the top 5 need to build a gap to not necessarily with Dutchface, but they need to build a gap to your Rileys, your Bellons, you know, those kind of guys, because what they need to do is make sure they're not held up and they don't come out behind them to the point.
Passer gets the move done on Ryan.
Good move from him. Passe up into 9th place. Ryan Belshaw looking for a good result this season. He's not had the best of starts, and hopefully he can kind of get a little bit out of this race.
A yellow, I think it's just Ibo by the looks of it.
The Dutchface is having a look. He doesn't really need to this early. I mean, you could argue 5th, lap 5 and 6, I would say, is a good time.
Yeah, it's about when they die, really. They're still going to be decent at this stage though, so especially now Swip's out of DRS, I think he's got to go for it this next lap.
Yeah, 100%. Swip is going to be suffering. All he has to do is just stick tight onto the back of him.
Yeah, which should be doable on those mediums. And we know McDutrace has very good pace, as he is second in the standings, so. And he's got 81% TRS as well, which
almost too much.
Quite a lot. Yeah. you need to be around that 60 stage. Like, you got enough to defend, but.
Well, here's an interesting area. Jasper has used a lot. Slayer has not, and Mike has not. MCR has not also. So we might see Jasper struggling a bit here as he is caning it down this straight. Only just at the beginning. But this is going to allow Slayer to. It depends on the wings. There's a lot of wing variation here, isn't there? I know that we had a slightly affected race, but I know that from speaking to people, I was speaking to people that had 3.8. I was speaking to people that had, as Dutchface does get around Swip, but anywhere from 3.8 to pretty much like 4.10, I think. Was pretty.
I started 3.9 and then ended up 3.10. So.
Yeah. This is it.
It's everyone's preference, isn't it?
So even though Jasper might have got through some errors, if he's actually got lower wings, you might find.
Should be fine from Slayer.
Yeah.
As long as he stays in DRS. That's looking the problem at this stage, if any problem.
The thing is as well, and I mean this in the greatest of respect, because he engineers for me, he helps me, but when you're in second and Ivor's ahead of you, you're never out of it.
Yeah.
Unfortunately. You're never feeling like this is gone.
I think in any race ever, I know it's hard to sit for D3, showed that I was, 12 seconds gone.
Yeah, I'm glad they can't hear this right now, so I'm just going to ignore that. But when it's re-uploaded, they'll understand why I said that. No, in all seriousness though, you just don't know. Like, you just don't know what's going to happen. As we have Riley round, I believe, coming through the right-hander in sector 3. But this is... Dutchface has clung onto the back of MCR, and Swip
who's now also out of DRS.
Yeah, this is...
There's a bit of a trend, isn't it, going on here?
I think if we look at the leader gap, what was interesting for me is if we look at the tyres. So, slump downwards. I think Flip and Ryan are going to be their first problem that they're going to come up to. And I think they will catch him. I don't think they'll get past, I don't think they'll undercut them at this point, but what I think will happen is they could get caught behind, whereas with Dutch Face can extend to the point where actually he gets round them.
Almost, he doesn't need, because he's going to pit the same time as them.
Yeah.
Unless they're doing some major unique strategy that we don't know of.
This is it. Jasper's kind of...
As MCR's pit.
Very early. He's going to two-stop. I'm convinced, because that's too early for me. Oh, he's going
Lap
past.
8's the earliest. Has he got some insane tyre weather we don't know of?
He's going to have to.
He's got to give me tips after the race if he makes it, that's for sure.
I want to know what he's up to there. That's pretty interesting.
It does release McDutch Face onto these front three.
It does, and he would have had DRS as well for that down the main drag. If I'm with Dutch Face now, I'm probably using a bit of that as, not massively, but just to try and close that gap as much as possible.
Because he's got the gap to the mediums behind. There's Slump and Passer. Passer's probably his closest rival. Connor, as he messaged me about, saying no, that's what other people call him, so he prefers it. So Connor, I'm pretty sure is it. Connor.
Just to reiterate to the guys in the chat, we will re-upload with the says you can hear Tin Can and it will be
because I have no idea what's going on.
Very strange.
To be honest. As cloudy is in.
I mean, it's interesting. They're going lap 9. Like, you would think. I would have thought Jasper would have gambled, or Slayer would have gambled, and Jasper,
especially with the undercut effect on these dead softs.
And it helps with Dutch Face even more, doesn't it?
Yeah. I will say, I did a GP practice race earlier. Got a puncture this lap on 70% tyres, so Slayer is all over the back of Jasper.
So the leader gap now, actually, Ryan Belcher is the only one that's actually a problem, as there is a yellow. That's Riley. He's really struggling out there.
Yeah. So it's 23 seconds to MCR at the minute. The gap from as a VSC comes out.
Ooh, that is a absolute dagger to McDutch Face.
He could still pit.
He could pit. Yeah, you're right. I mean, there's no harm in pitting. He's not at a loss to a degree.
You gotta think he does pit. I know those mediums are nice, but he stays out.
Well, if it ends now, he's okay. But the longer this goes on, every second is a problem to him.
Yeah.
And this is really going to damage him, I think.
As Mike's got a glitch from his pit crew because of Riley. Riley was coming into the pits and he's crashed in the pit lane. And as a result, Slayer and Jasper both jumped him by a considerable.
If this guy had... This is incredible. You've just reiterated to me, just for the live viewers, because Riley retired,
crashed going into the pit lane,
and crashed into the pit lane, it's caused a problem with the pit crew. That means that either is been held and he is way back, and that, I mean, I know he gets a lot of stick, but like I don't want to hear any of it. After the race. If that happened to any one of us, we would be absolutely spitting. Like that.
I know people that would quit.
Yeah,
after
100%.
So
no, I'm not gonna lie. I'm outwardly rooting for him now at this point, because that is.
Yeah. Well, he knows he's got the pace. That's one good advantage. He knows he's got the pace to get back up to Jasper and Slayer.
So what's interesting is Jasper is 19 seconds behind the Dutch Face and closing, really. He's going to be close to either, actually, at that point. So you would think really, Dutchface is probably the favourite in a sense, but Slayer is on the back and he should get this done quite easily. Switches to the inside, almost too far inside. He needs to get back over a bit quickly, and he does.
Does it,
You
man?
don't want to take that. You don't want to take that corner
Yeah.
with the line that he had for there for a split second.
He's just doing lap 1 all over again.
Oh, we have a slow-moving car.
It's Ibo. Just getting out of the way, I think.
So, the gap now is 18.6 and Jasper, I think, is going to struggle to stay onto the back of his DRS just from
As
pace.
he's ran wide and he's gonna pretty much lose it. Yeah, if he's not careful.
Perfectly timed almost, really. And Mike is making up time like a man possessed.
He's already back. Yeah, 1.5 seconds I think he's gained so far in a lap and a half.
Slayer has a warning, Jasper does not. Mike has one as well, so you got to think Jasper's in good nick, but if Slayer picks up a pen, this isn't over. But then you have this spectre lying over them with Dutchface, who is.
Yeah.
I think it's the time.
He's gonna have much fresh.
Massive.
Yeah.
Well, he is,
doesn't-
but it's hard to overtake here, isn't it?
Yeah. In a train as well, which he will be in.
Oh, we have Jasper round.
As Jasper's gone.
I think he's stepped too far on the pedal. I don't think that was any contact. He seemed quite far away from anybody, and now he's. Oh, such a shame for him because he was looking quicker than I've ever seen him. He's in 9th. It's not out of it, end of the day, but that
Safety car, anything could happen.
helps with Dutchface again because it's another person to not have to get round.
Now it'd be interesting to see Mike and Slayer, how their gap fares.
100%. So let's
I think
check if
he is.
is anyone on the 2-stop.
Slowly goes
Swip's on the 2-stop. Swip's decided for that, which is interesting. And I don't think anyone else has. Svenos Dios has actually. He's quite far back. So, I mean, if Swip can actually get up to these guys, make a move with them, and there's a middlingly late safety car, he puts himself back into
Definitely possible. Yeah. He needs to. I think he needs to get past MCR, and that puts him in a good position. I think.
it. So here's a guy I want to keep an eye on as well as Passe, because even though he had that incident that seemed to knock him back a little bit early in the race, he could catch him back.
He has got good pace. I think. He's one of the top, I'd say, 5, 6 here in D5 that could all win a race. So.
Yeah, he needs to get out ahead of Cloudy. Yeah, he does easily actually.
Yeah.
So he's not.
How
not
far
bad to
behind was? Yeah, how far behind was he to McDutchface? Because I have a feeling it's going to be very close between him and Mike.
5 or 6 seconds or so, I think. And Mike is. I think the pit gap here is somewhere between 22 and 23 seconds, isn't it? So
Yeah.
you would favour McDutchface to come out ahead, but in some ways it's not necessarily an issue because Mike will have DRS, and I don't think he'll be close enough. McDutchface will be close enough to Slayer to have it himself. So that's instantly going to cause some issues for him to defend to Mike.
Yeah. At the minute, it's 21.5 seconds between him and McDutchface, Mike. And it's gaining. Oh, it's not going down, that's for sure.
Well, this will be
As
close.
they're in.
Oh, he's going through the chicane. He's coming round the Rudy bend, as I will call it, and he is. It's going to be close. But Dutchface is on exit.
He's
He's going to get him. But
ahead.
like I say, I think it's just within a second. So Mike needs to really hold on to the
Get
back
this
and
out.
then
Yeah.
kind of leech off him a little
Almost. McDutchface needs to drag him towards Slayer, if anything.
bit. Yeah, 100%. Swip isn't catching as much as he would hope, but that doesn't surprise me because the problem is with the mediums is that depending on how, I don't know if he's on pad or wheel, if he's on a pad they can overheat still, and actually they're not as useful for as long against the hards as you might
Yeah.
think.
As MCR goes for a bit of a Tokyo drift through the middle of sector 2, that's nice to see.
This is a lot more calm than the last D5 Catalonia race that I commentated on. It was chaos everywhere.
Yeah. Which is good to see, as Mike has lost DRS.
Yes.
Which is showing those. There is a difference in those hards then.
There is, yeah, 100%.
Or must have traced his pace.
I think he is rapid as well, but he's clean too. He's got no pens.
Yeah. We've seen it a lot. Well, I know you haven't been here to commentate, but this season he's done a lot of almost last of podiums.
Yeah.
So
he's he does like it. I think he enjoys that. But so part of me wonders if he doesn't necessarily push too much in quality, just to have the fun of it. I think.
Not a bad way to go about it, that's for sure. But
what I find interesting now is that the gaps are kind of there, so to speak. Swip and Passe, if they have any sense, they won't battle because they're not really battling on the same piece of ground. I mean, I suppose the only thing you could say is that if there's an SC, you don't really want to let Swip through. But it's going to be quite... It's kind of almost calming down a bit now, isn't it? And I feel like there's always a twist in the tail, particularly in this division. And I think Dutch Race isn't actually gaining that much on Slayer, if anything at all.
Slayer seems to have really good pace at the minute.
Although he's putting the hammer down. He's struggling on hers a bit, so this might just be what Slayer might be thinking, in fairness to him, is this guy's probably going to catch me at some point. I need to stay out as long as feasibly possible in case an SC comes out.
Yeah.
It's not a bad idea.
Could he be also... Is he on 2-1, did you say? Or 1?
Slayer's on 2. And Dutch Face is clean.
He could be thinking of that as well, because he's going to know McDutch Face. He's very unlikely to get a penalty. And if he thinks, I've got one mistake in me which could give him a warning, he's going to want that gap already there.
And Ivor is on 2 warnings too, so MCR's clean, and I think Passe's clean too, so it's so finely poised. It's
yeah, they're all on the brink of DRS on each other at the minute.
Yeah, it's Emperor now going up the inside. Ooh, and he backs out like crazy. I didn't expect that. Oh, we have some yellows. Oh no, we have Jasper again.
Oh, he's had a mare.
I'd probably pit at this point and stick on some mediums.
Yeah. Those hards are going to be awful.
Yeah, he's carried on. But then now it's
Passe's just done the fastest lap.
So he's going to be catching MCR, and MCR isn't catching Mike enough. McDutchface is slowly but surely him, and he doesn't have to do much, does he, with 16 laps to go?
Yeah.
He kind of has to catch like basically 2 tenths a lap, not even that.
Which, yeah. He's got to be wary of Mike though, because Mike's going to be, well, pushing like mad still. Because he's not really gaining at the minute to Mike, as he gets a penalty.
Big cost.
Never mind.
Big cost. I think there's a massive cost there because I don't see MCR and Passe getting a pen, and I think he might well be. I mean, Slayer may well pick one up, but
everyone's just got a penalty then.
It feels like it, doesn't it? Like, I feel like Slayer's the kind of guy though in experience that can also pretty much, if he gets to about lap 25, I would back him to not get another warning.
Yeah, goes into limp home stages as an.
He did it. He did it against Mike, didn't he, in Japan?
Yeah.
As Passe is past MCR, Rel.
Which is not surprising.
Yeah.
It's a much easier name to say now, though.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? In fact, I'm actually one of the few people that I'm glad joined the team, because it just makes my life easier. But no,
yeah.
let's see this gap. I mean, That's going to be a bit of a dagger to Mike, because I think he would have fancied himself potentially to gap MCR potentially, but
I think he still can.
I think he can.
I mean, MCR's on 2 lap older, hards as well. We got on.
Well, actually, is MCR going to get to the end? You know, that's a factor that if he does, then
That's the factor we've completely forgot.
he's a tyre wizard. 'Cause I don't think I've ever seen anyone go from lap 7.
No. Never been.
Dave's
Lap
avoided
8's
it.
always been the push. Right. Lap 8, if you've got good tyre wear, you go from there.
This is a very strange prediction, but we have Dave down in 16th, who's the last man to not be lapped. And I'm going to predict that Dave gets points.
Okay. I mean, he's on the back of 2 people at the minute, so on fresh mediums.
That's when Dios comes into the bits. The 2-stop is I feel like it's an under-practiced strategy, unfortunately.
Yeah.
In the sense, as in, like, I think people that are doing it haven't really put enough time into thinking about what they should have done.
They've just seen this Jeff's selection and gone, yeah, that's what I want.
100%. It's not the best idea.
I think even on paper, Spain looks like a decent overtaking circuit with this long straight and stuff. It just isn't.
No, it's not at all, is it? I don't know what it is. It's almost like the slipstream isn't as strong. I mean, you compare the slipstream to Spain, from Spain down that main straight to the back straight at Spa.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, it's ridiculous.
It almost feels like 2 different games. I don't ever understand. Like, you look at Slump here, right? Slump's on the back of Swim. This should be easy, but it's not.
He's just used all his ERS.
Okay, actually, it ended up being quite easy. Ignore me. But
Cheers, Connor, for that one. Completely contradicted ourselves there.
pass on the back of Ivor. Depends how mean Ivor wants to be at this point, because what I would find interesting is Dutch Face isn't catching Slayer.
And he's not gaining on Mike either. It's been 1.4 for God knows how many laps now. So I don't see Mike wanting to let Passe through.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look at how quick we're going to compare Slayer to Passe. So 19.122 is from Slayer, and then we look at Passe, who is doing 18.9, 18.5, 18.7. I mean, he is the man of the track. He is, and he's got enough time, but he has to get past Ivor.
Mike's got more ERS as well. It just makes the job ever so difficult.
See, I think this is an error. This is a huge error. Passe's kind of, if you looked at his ERS usage there, he was indecisive, and he's kind of burned 10% there on a track where it's hard to get it back, almost for no real gain.
Yeah, he was 7 temps off. You're never going to make the move from the back there.
I feel like you let Ivor kind of use that energy to stay ahead, and obviously to keep, you know, a bit of full momentum, and then you kind of pounce once it's low. He doesn't need to get past this lap or last lap or next lap. What he needs to do is get past him fairly efficiently, as Slayer does pick up a pen.
Wow. Now, if I'm to try some pushing all out.
100%, and Passe also, hopefully, you know, he's going to look at that. I think if he can see first from fourth, can you see first from fourth? You can't, can you? You can only see up to second, so he won't know.
First we'll be able to know.
Yeah, first we'll be able to know, but Passe won't. And what I find interesting is if he knew that, he might be a little bit more patient.
He could have a Jeff though.
Well, actually, yeah, he's highly likely to, being part of a team again. Passe uses it, Mike doesn't, and this is what's really interesting. And Passe gets off it again. Don't half commit. someone needs to have a word with him within his newly found team. If you're going to half commit, you're burning hers for no reason. You've gained half a tenth and you've lost the ability to pass.
I always think, especially tracks like here, you've got to go for a move they don't expect it.
100%. I mean, a good place would be. Well,
I mean,
do it the chicane, I suppose.
yeah, chicane. I mean,
depends on the
end
run
of
you
sector
get.
one. If you get good at
yes, that's what I was going to say. 100%. Turn 3.
you can definitely dive it somewhat.
If you put overtake and Richon out of turn 2, and kind of chew through your tyres for one lap round turn 3, you can actually make a considerable amount of time and get onto the back of them.
Yeah.
But Ivor, crucially, I think he's missed a boat because Ivor's in DRS now.
Yeah, so and more ERS. I say it's just going to be stuck.
We didn't. I think he lost it over the line. Now Ivor's going to push like mad. Yeah, look, Passe's done it. He's ruined it. He's not close enough.
He's ruined himself, yeah.
And that's it. He's stuck behind. From a race win, I'm gonna say now, I don't think there's any chance he actually beats the Dutch face unless he makes a mistake.
Yeah, I can't. As MCR is in the pits. So.
Wow.
Goodbye goes that one stop. So he's not a tyre saving wizard. But
I mean, I find that bizarre because I would have just stayed out as much as possible.
I wouldn't have gone hards.
Well, I wouldn't have gone hards for a start, but what I would have probably done is stayed out and just hoped for an SC.
Yeah, he was clearly quicker than Connor and Swift behind him. He's building the gap out. There's no real need.
He's going to struggle to get 6th now, which is unfortunate for him. And look, the Passe is. Ivor's in a great spot. You know, he doesn't need to do tons. I mean, what Passe really needs to do is take his medicine, but I bet you he doesn't. I bet you he's going to carry on. Yeah, look, straight into the ERS, straight into overtake. We're going to start getting into that flashing light of doom before the end of it, and that's that. And then Ivor sat there with 17. But if he'd have not done it over and over again, what you'd have found is that Ivor would be a sitting duck this lap, next lap.
Because he'd be on 80, 70, 80%. Mike would have had to use it every lap.
Yep.
He made everything simpler. Now Mike's almost on the back of McDutch face.
I wonder what's going on with Dutch face. Is he tightening up a tiny bit because he knows that he's basically in the net lead of the race? I mean, that can easily happen.
I think he is. He's gaining like half a tenth a lap. He's got 3 cars in front of him, which won't be fun. His only real challenger at the minute is Passe.
Agree.
He's stuck behind Mike.
I think the saving grace for Slayer at this point is that he knows that if he can keep always, Dutch face makes a big mistake. I feel like going through the chicane, and it. Well, no, maybe it's just a slightly different style of exit. He's made it back actually. But Dutch face has got DRS on the lap car, and that has helped him hugely.
Yeah, gained almost half a second there. As Mike is now in DRS, if we say that.
Yeah, this is some kind of tightening up slump. I mean, we haven't really paid much attention to him. He's on but he's on those hards too, so I think he's too far back. I don't think he can necessarily do much, but MCR's past Jasper already. I mean, that is a very quick way to dispatch him. I thought he wouldn't be able to get past Cloudy, but
he's used all his ERS. That's
something like fastest lap point potentially.
Yeah, I mean, not a bad way to go about it.
Now, Passe
as I
is
say,
at
that's
the back.
Swift on stuff, so you probably take that.
There's a yellow. Let's Ribbo get out of the way now. Look, this is huge. This is crucial. Passe needs to stick. He needs to have a brilliant exit. He's lost time there. He does seem to have a more aggressive exit. He's right on the back.
This is it.
This
Has
should
to
be
go
it.
for it.
But he's going to run out of hers. And if he had that 10-15% like we talked about, this is an easy move. There you go. That's
Yeah.
exactly it. Another.
As Michael got to 10% as he got to the finger, so
You know, I'll be honest. I was speaking to Mike about his ERS usage in Japan, about getting past Slayer. It was a big criticism I had. In a way, I feel like he should have done what I'm saying Passe should have done, which is hold it. Or as he goes for a move, he's frustrated. He's furious because he knows he can't
he
get
got the
past.
pace.
Yeah, but he can't get past. And I feel like if I was now playing a game where it's more sensible, he's got a warning there, 100%. Now Passe's getting impatient, and he's going for it down here where he's gonna, and then he stops. It's just a bizarre. And I'm not picking on it. What I'm trying to do, I suppose, is I think D5 sometimes
Help him.
Yeah, this is it. I think D5 is a learning ground. It always has been, and I think hopefully he looks back at this race and gets a bit of an understanding as to what went wrong, why he couldn't get past Mike, not just the frustration of not being able to.
Yeah. And he's too far away this time, but what I will say, him go like faking for the moves, that's all good. I think that's a good strategy on certain drivers.
Yep.
Just don't use your ES when faking the move when you know you're not going for it. Because I've started doing it a bit, and it's worked.
Yeah.
Today especially.
Yeah. Someone used it on me, and I think it threw me off.
Yeah. I did it a lot in the first lap because I just knew no one's overtaken after lap 1.
Yeah.
And I was right.
Right, I'm gonna go get another beer. I'll be back in a sec.
It will be silent on the stream at the minute, but I will commentate over anyway as Pasek. He's so close. Mike is struggling now a bit. This is where the effect of the tyres will come in, no doubt, as McDutch faces out the 3 seconds to Slayer as well.
So
he needs to get back that in.
This is it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's going to overtake Mike. He's listening. Someone's telling him because he's not using it.
Nolan, Ryan, Rocco, someone must be telling him.
100%.
I was just saying, McDutch Face is now out the 3 seconds as well.
This is so surprising. I think McDutch Face is tightening up a bit. I think he's feeling the pressure a bit.
Yeah.
MCR is flying. That is going to be a battle for 6th at some point. That's as far as he's going to get. The soft medium just wasn't the strat, was it?
No.
Or soft hard medium
Yeah.
he did.
Not even medium. Mike's got DRS down this straight as well, from the back marker.
Yes.
I think it's 3 for Dave. I'm not entirely sure.
Dave is unfortunately. Well, Dave has been lapped, so that's my prediction out the window. Unfortunately. Although he's
And the
13th.
safety car prediction. Yeah, he's still on.
Could get a point.
He's 32 seconds away, but it could happen.
Right. Passe is making a move. He has got a little bit more to use. He's going to have a look. You would assume no. Oh, he does.
Oh yeah.
Bit of a lunge, Mike. Not giving as much space as you probably should, but then it was a bit of a lunge. So for me, I think that's a 10-10 round in boxing. I'm not going to judge that one until it's an on-board one. I think it wasn't very cut and dry. So again, though, look, it puts Passe in a situation where fair play to him. He did use and he did save the ERS, and it's the closest he got. But Mike was in no mood to let him by.
I think this is the time Mike's losing his tyres a bit. I think he's starting to tell.
Yeah, which is interesting.
As he's lost that gap to McDutch Face as well.
which is interesting in itself because now McDutchface actually has snuck back in to 3-second range. So maybe this is the point. Maybe you're 100% right about the tyres kind of going off now. That this is the point where it's going to become harder for Slayer and Mike and Cloudy, particularly. I mean, Cloudy's got a world of problems with a very fast Spaniard behind him on better tyres and fresher tyres. But now, what can Passe do? Now, look, for me, yeah, and look, he's found out again that he's run out of juice and he's not close enough. And I get what you mean. Have a pretend look, but instead of having a pretend look, instead of doing that every lap, don't have a pretend look. Don't run your errors, and then do it every other lap and actually have a look.
Yeah. As MCR should get past Cloudy Cloud here. First try.
Yeah.
Need to teach him Passe some lessons, I think.
This is it. You think if Passe got past Ivor in this race first time, well, let's say third time, because let's say he saved his errors, we can't just magically assume that. And again, he's back on it again. He's back on it. I mean, this straight is
never going to happen here, unless there's a mistake.
It's as short as J Cole. This straight, like you can't overtake on there, and he's finding it out. And again, look, it's just as much as this game does feel like it's about usage of battery. I mean, Ivor's already blinking. I think. Oh no, I think it's because he's got a red car. Yeah, it's just purely because he's got a red car and the way the light was reflecting off the rear wing. But
gotta go for it this time. No, he's too far back again.
Yeah, no, and then look, he realises I can't do it again when I'm on 3%, so I'm gonna have to stop doing it. And he has another look, and we're gonna have the same soap opera next lap unless Mike makes a pretty big mistake.
I think if I was Passe now, I'll just make sure I don't get warnings. Like, let's be honest, he's not going to catch McDutchface. Even though it'd be nice to get the P3 on track, just happily settle for the P3 either way.
Yeah, I think at this point he's going to struggle to get further than third, which is unfortunate, but you've got a podium. Don't go wheel to wheel with Mike through corner turn 1, because it's going to end either you get third, which you got anyway, or you get
10.
Yeah. Like, there's not much value at this point.
Yeah, especially considering probably won't make much difference, but Passe's not going to know what happened to Mike at the pits.
No.
And as a driver, if you've had that happen to you in the pits, you're not letting anyone through, even if they're through.
This is it. This is it. As Passe is listening.
Used a bit, yeah, but yeah, he's just chilling.
Ooh. It's too late for an SC now, obviously. But this gap, we haven't really given it enough care and attention. It is 2.9, 2.8, 3.0, 3.1 pretty much exclusively. I'm going to ride on board with them. I want to see if there's...
Slayer's on 6, McDutchface, 20%.
McDutchface is feeling it. He's gone two. That was a bad entry to that corner. Just riding on board with him, and he's tentative through here, but not the slowest in fairness. They get really tentative. Oh, I just feel like, but then so Slayer. I think they're both tightening up. I think they're both really feeling the pressure. As Passe is on the back of Mike, he's going to go for it. He has to. Fair play. Mike can't do anything about it. Now, the hunted become this could be an exemplary situation where Mike does have enough.
ERS.
And it could almost go completely back on itself on a 180. Go on, Mike. I hope you're listening. Show us some education.
Go on.
He's got enough. Passe's derated already. Look, this is exactly what we meant, Passe. Oh no, don't do that. Well,
you can't.
Well, to be fair, Mike, congratulations on your podium, because, and again, I think, I'm sorry, maybe I'm talking out of turn there, but that for me is another example of naivety. And I think I'd be very surprised. I'd be horrifically surprised if that isn't going to cause further ramifications.
Yeah. Because he's got damage now. I mean, Luckily for him, there's no one behind him.
Yeah. It's not the
But
worst.
this is
incident.
an already angry Mike.
I mean, we know what Mike's like. He can lose it. He have an incident and have another one, but he doesn't need to. This gap is ridiculous. Dutch face
Oh, it's
is
2
closing. He's closing and closing, but it's gone back up. Oh, no,
God.
it's glitching. Slayer, right? What can he do? This is the time, isn't it? Oh, he's gone over through. What's he doing? It's gonna be tight.
It's gone under.
It's gonna be tight. It's gonna be tight. Oh my God, this is so tight.
Nah, this is too close.
Oh,
He's done it.
He's done it. Unbelievable.
Not.
Passe will come over the line third. Fair play to the Dutch face. Incredible race. Those two will definitely be in the chat after congratulating each other. They pushed each other right to the end. Ivor with fourth. Passe
Yeah.
third. For now, Slump in fifth.
I prefer not to speak.
MCR, what could have been for him? Oh dear, he's let his country down. He's let June down. More importantly, in sixth,
Yeah.
Cloudy in seventh, Swip in eighth, Jasper another one. I mean, he got 23 laps on those.
He's done well.
And Cloudy. Feel for him.
They've
And
did 24.
Yeah.
How's he done that?
Flip, Svenos, Ryan. Dave got lapped. Ryan, well done. Good result for him. I haven't seen him pick up too many points this season, unless I'm really mistaken. Good effort from him. As Feekplonk is doing donuts, what a lad. We appreciate this.
We do get this in D5. It's usually a bit of a fair.
Good
We're
man.
giving it to the McLaren this week. Is this going to be Lando after winning in Imola tomorrow? Sure. A certain Lando or Nathan will be wanting that.
This is it. I mean, I'd be pretty happy if Lando Norris was doing donuts at some point during the race, to be honest. Right, what's he going to do here? Look, if you're listening, freak, overtake him. Get him. Go for a dive.
Go on. Dive.
Go on.
Oh, what?
This is ridiculous. Absolutely no heart. Go, get him. Get him.
You gotta follow the D3 McLaren.
Hey, there you go. get him. This is like the end of D3. He's going to do it. What a move. Fantastic way to end the stream.
Yeah. Lovely from Freak. Obviously not had the best race, but
He's taking it with a sense of humour.
good to see, yeah. You wouldn't see that in D1, would you?
You certainly wouldn't.
Montana or M Short just doing donuts after they've been hit off. That would never happen.
Well, that was a rather interesting race. I think I do want to stick that up on the wall almost for a lesson to every new driver out there. And well played. I mean, you've got to have the pace to do what Passe did, and I feel for him, because I think that actually could have been his race, but it wasn't, because we have a double Dutch 1-2 there from a Dutch face who isn't out of this title race. I still
He's
don't
not,
think.
he's second. He's gained another, he's 13 points now, the gap.
Slayer in
It was
second.
20.
Passe in third. Mike in fourth. Slumpcon in fifth. Ola MCR in sixth. Strategy best two-stopper. He gets that award. Cloudy Cloud in seventh. Swip in eighth. Jasper in ninth. Flip in 10th. Svenos in 11th. Ryan Belshaw 12th. Dave 13th. Bellon Emperor. Freak Ronk, Master of Donuts. ST5. Sir Ibo and Riley retired. I think he might have had some issues, to be fair, because he was really struggling.
It seemed like an esports setup, if I've ever seen one. Very good in qualifying, not so good in the race.
You're that Vexham guy.
Yeah.
Don't copy that man's setups for a race. No one is listening. But yeah, this opens the title back up, and what I really enjoy is that, as much grief as we give Ivor, he's going to enjoy his role in the last 5 races, which is going to be a fly in the ointment. He can't win the title. But
Definitely.
he can implement it. He can get really in there.
He could win or lose the title for someone.
100%. 100%. been eventful. It's been tough from our point of view.
Yeah.
We will, as I say, I'll save the footage, and I wish I'd have done it earlier actually in some senses. But we'll
I
mix
wish I didn't go
both.
15 minutes without commentating by myself and then realising I was in silence.
Yeah, that wasn't the best. That wasn't the best.
Yeah.
Nothing you could do from the looks of it. It sounds absolutely crazy,
Yeah.
to be honest.
I'm gonna have a strict word with PlayStation. That's for sure.
I think Mike's gonna have a strict word with Passe.
And Codemasters and Riley.
There is something about our party, because what's happened is there's an incident that's both meant that me and Ivor have come forth.
Yeah.
So there we go.
I mean, you should join my party.
I should join your party. I need a bit. I need a little bit of that.
Me and
that
Brie had a lovely time in our party.
I'm sure you did. I bet Bree was
Yeah.
particularly happy. Bloody Maltese kid. As much as I love him. Oh dear. Right, well, enough of my moaning. I'm going to go and have another beer and cry myself to sleep. But I don't think what Dutch Face is going to. So that's it from us. You can hear us both eventually. I promise. And good night. Thanks all.
Yeah. Thanks all for watching. See you next week.